In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose 10 gravy mix brands hiding chemical additives, synthetic flavors, and dangerous sodium levels behind their homemade taste promises. Plus, I'll reveal the 4 brands that actually deliver real flavor without the toxic baggage. Stay until the end, because number 3 on our avoid list has been involved in an actual FDA recall, and you need to know about it. Let's start with what's sitting in your pantry right now. Number 10, Great Value Gravy Mix, Walmart. Walmart's house brand is engineered for one thing, rock-bottom pricing. But here's what that low price tag really means. When you tear open this packet, you're not greeted with the aroma of slow-simmered drippings. Instead, you get a sharp chemical smell that hits you instantly. That's your first warning sign. Pour it into hot water and watch what happens. Instead of smooth, velvety gravy, you get a thick, pasty sludge that clumps and separates. The ingredient list reads like a laboratory experiment. Maltodextrin, MSG, hydrogenated oils, and Class 3 caramel color. Food scientists have specifically warned about this type of caramel coloring because it can contain harmful byproducts when consumed frequently. One serving packs around 500 milligrams of sodium, but let's be honest, nobody uses just 1 spoonful of gravy. Most families pour generously, easily doubling or tripling that sodium hit. Customer complaints are consistent: clumps, bitterness, metallic aftertaste. There's no real stock here, no pan drippings, just fillers and thickeners pretending to be gravy. That cheap price? It comes from cutting every corner that matters for your health. Number 9, Kroger Gravy Mix. Kroger sells millions of these packets every year, banking on consumer trust in their house brand. But once that powder hits your pan, the truth reveals itself fast. The color turns unnaturally dark, almost black. The aroma is sharp and aggressive instead of comforting. The flavor hits with a wave of salt that overwhelms everything else. This mix is built on maltodextrin, which food scientists warn has a glycemic index even higher than table sugar. That means it spikes blood glucose faster than you'd expect from something savory. One packet delivers 600 to 700 milligrams of sodium, turning your comfort food into a cardiovascular concern. Customer reviews repeatedly mention chemical aftertaste, clumping, and gritty texture that ruins the meal. The hidden truth? This mix is designed for shelf stability, not flavor. The stabilizers keep it from spoiling for years, but they also keep it from tasting remotely like real gravy. When your gravy needs a chemistry degree to understand the ingredient list, something has gone terribly wrong. Number 8, Food Lion Gravy. Mixed Food Lion's budget-friendly packet has serious quality issues from the moment you open it. The powder releases a sharp, overly processed smell that makes you question what you're about to cook. Once heated, the consistency becomes chaotic. Thin and watery in some areas, thick like paste in others. This happens when low-grade thickening agents do all the work instead of real broth. The ingredient label reveals the problem: corn syrup solids, artificial roast flavor, caramel coloring, and modified starches. Nutrition specialists have raised concerns about certain caramel colors being associated with 4-MeI exposure, a compound formed during high-heat processing that many health-conscious consumers actively avoid. The sodium typically ranges from 550 to 700 milligrams per serving. Research in the journal Circulation links high-sodium diets from processed packets to long-term hypertension risk, especially concerning for older adults. Customers note a fake beef aroma with a strange lingering aftertaste. That's because there's no meat stock in the base, just artificial savory compounds trying to trick your taste buds. Number 7, Dollar Tree Greenbrier Gravy Mix. At just $1, this seems like a steal. It's not. It's a shortcut that costs you in ways that don't show up at checkout. The powder has a sharp, dusty smell that should make you hesitate. As it cooks, it forms a thin, murky sauce that thickens unevenly, a telltale sign of cheap starches doing all the heavy lifting. The ingredient list includes maltodextrin, corn syrup solids, artificial beef flavor, caramel color, and hydrogenated oils. Studies in food chemistry show that the caramel color commonly used in budget mixes can contain byproducts formed during high-heat processing, compounds that scientists have repeatedly evaluated for safety concerns. The sodium load hovers around 550 to 650 milligrams per serving, and most families use far more than the serving size suggests. Research links these high-sodium processed packets to long-term hypertension risk. One study published in the journal Circulation found that processed sodium from flavor packets contributes significantly to weekly sodium overload in households that rely on convenience foods. You get what you pay for. In this case, that's a gravy that tastes artificial, looks wrong, and delivers a sodium bomb to your dinner table. Number 6. Essential Everyday Gravy. Mixed despite its reliable-sounding name, this gravy mix disappoints the moment it starts bubbling. The powder gives off that unmistakable instant soup smell, revealing that the flavor backbone comes from bouillon powders, maltodextrin, and artificial meat flavor. Not a drop of real stock. Research shows maltodextrin can spike blood sugar faster than regular table sugar, making this a poor choice for anyone trying to manage energy levels or glucose swings. The texture turns thick quickly, but it's the wrong kind of thick. It's gel-like rather than velvety, thanks to modified starches and gums engineered to simulate richness without using real ingredients. With 500 to 650 milligrams of sodium per serving, combined with flavor enhancers like sodium inosinate and sodium guanylate, the saltiness hits hard and lingers long after the meal. Studies from the American Heart Association warn that these sodium-heavy packets contribute quietly but significantly to weekly blood pressure strain. Many home cooks report a grainy finish when reheating leftovers, another sign of low-quality thickeners breaking down. Essential Everyday might sound dependable, but the reality is far from it. Number 5. Best Choice Gravy Mix. Best Choice looks harmless with its simple packaging and familiar branding. But what's inside the foil pouch is far from real gravy. Food safety analysts have repeatedly called out ultra-low-cost gravy mixes for relying on modified starch fillers, maltodextrin, and hydrogenated fats instead of actual broth. Best Choice follows this pattern perfectly. Open the packet and you'll see a beige powder made primarily of corn derivatives, flavor emulsifiers, and Class 3 caramel color. The Center for Science in the Public Interest has specifically warned that this coloring can create 4-MeI, a compound linked to increased cancer risk in long-term rodent studies. While legal, it's not something you want in a family meal multiple times per week. The ingredient list also stacks sodium inosinate, sodium guanylate, and monosodium glutamate together as a trio that food scientists call flavor potentiators. They don't improve nutrition or add real flavor. They simply trick your brain into thinking you're eating slow-simmered gravy when you're actually eating chemical shortcuts. A single serving can spike your meal with 600 to 800 milligrams of sodium. Consumer complaint boards show patterns of people reporting bloating, headaches, and sudden sodium-related symptoms. That's not dinner. That's a chemistry experiment on your dinner table. Number 4. Publix Gravy Mix. Publix usually has a solid reputation for their store-brand products, but their budget gravy mix is a completely different story. Inside the packet is a formula built around cornstarch fillers, maltodextrin, and artificial beef or chicken flavor created in a lab, not a kitchen. Food analysts reviewing store-brand gravies found that Publix's version contains Class 3 caramel color that the Center for Science in the Public Interest warns may contain 4-MeI, the heat-generated compound linked to increased tumor rates in long-term animal studies. The company doesn't publish testing results or disclose sourcing information. That lack of transparency should concern anyone paying attention. The mix is sodium-loaded at roughly 750 to 900 milligrams per serving after preparation. That's almost half the daily sodium limit for older adults or anyone managing hypertension. Dietitians warn this kind of stealth sodium can spike blood pressure within hours of eating. Consumers complain about a strange, meaty aftertaste despite the mix containing no real meat stock. That flavor comes from yeast extracts, sodium inosinate, and hydrolyzed vegetable proteins, additives known to cause headaches and bloating in sensitive individuals. You're paying for the Publix name, but getting the same industrial shortcuts as dollar store brands. Number 3, Sunny Select Gravy Mix. Here's where things get serious. This brand has already dealt with a real FDA-posted recall for its au jus gravy mix, after the manufacturer failed to disclose a dairy allergen, putting anyone with milk sensitivity at serious risk. That alone should make you think twice. Beyond the allergen issue, customers repeatedly complain that Sunny Select tastes burnt, tinny, or like watered-down soy sauce. The mix leans heavily on artificially flavored bouillon bases and aging powdered fats. Once these ingredients sit in warehouses for extended periods, they oxidize and develop off flavors that no amount of salt can hide. Sodium typically ranges from 480 to 550 milligrams per serving. Researchers at the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition link processed sodium to sharp post-meal blood pressure spikes for adults eating these products regularly. The texture is chaotic and unpredictable. Sometimes it thickens into sludge, other times it refuses to thicken at all. This happens because low-cost gravies use recycled starch blends, leftovers from other products mixed in to cut manufacturing costs. The FDA recall proves this company has quality control problems. The taste and texture complaints prove they're cutting corners. Your family deserves better than gambling on whether a packet will deliver allergens or awful gravy. Number 2. Food Club Gravy. Mix Food Club tries to present itself as the dependable, no-frills gravy choice. But once you pour it into boiling water, the problems emerge immediately. Many customers complain the gravy turns watery with floating oil specks, a classic sign of cheap powdered fat that refuses to emulsify properly. The flavor is often described as bitter, oddly smoky, or like powdered bouillon mixed with cardboard. That's what happens when flavor doesn't come from real meat drippings, but from chemical enhancers designed to mimic them. The artificial roasted flavor creates a slightly burnt aftertaste that ruins the meal. Sodium sits at 500 to 620 milligrams per serving, and studies found that processed sodium combined with hydrolyzed vegetable proteins, commonly used in Food Club's mix, can intensify thirst, swelling, and post-meal fatigue. Your body is telling you something's wrong. While Food Club hasn't had a recall tied specifically to gravy, their parent suppliers have had previous recalls for spice contamination in other products, including salmonella-tainted seasoning blends. That raises serious questions about ingredient sourcing and quality control throughout their supply chain. When the companies making your food have contamination issues elsewhere, trusting them with your family's dinner becomes a gamble. Number 1. ShopRite Bowl and Basket Gravy. Mix, the worst offender on our list. Bowl and Basket sounds wholesome and trustworthy, but once this gravy hits the pot, reality sets in fast. Rip open the packet and you're greeted with powder that smells like musty bouillon that's spent too long in storage. Stir it in and the gravy swings wildly between watery brown broth and gummy sludge. Never finding the smooth middle ground you'd expect from real gravy, a single serving delivers over 550 milligrams of sodium. Researchers warn that sodium from dehydrated mixes spikes blood pressure faster than natural salt because it binds with them. Processed starches. That instant bloating and thirst people feel? That's your body responding to the sodium overload. Consumer complaints are relentless. Metallic aftertaste, smells like old fryer oil, tastes like canned soup, concentrate pretending to be gravy. That weird bitterness comes from oxidized powdered fats, a sign that base ingredients sit in warehouses for months before packaging. The texture problems stem from unstable emulsifiers in low-grade starches. The flavor problems come from artificial enhancers breaking down during storage. The health problems come from excessive sodium and questionable additives. Bowl and Basket fails on every level that matters. It's cheap for a reason, and that reason is cutting every corner possible while still calling it gravy. The 4 brands you should buy instead. Now that we've cleared your pantry of questionable products, let's talk about the brands that actually deserve your money. These 4 pass rigorous standards, use real ingredients, and deliver gravy that tastes like it came from your grandmother's kitchen, not a chemical plant. Number 4, Simply Organic Gravy Mix. Simply Organic delivers exactly what its name promises: clean, real ingredients without lab-made shortcuts. Tear open the packet and you'll immediately notice the difference. You smell herbs, pepper, and toasted flour, rather than that dusty chemical scent cheaper brands release. The mix uses organic spices, unbleached flour, and vegetable-rich stock bases. keeping sodium around 200 to 240 milligrams per serving. That's one of the lowest among packaged gravies. A 2022 study found that organic seasoning blends reduce exposure to synthetic pesticide residues by over 80%. Consumers love how Simply Organic thickens smoothly into naturally glossy gravy. There's no artificial coloring, no partially hydrogenated fat, and no MSG. The flavor tastes warm, herbal, and clean, almost like homemade gravy simmered for hours. They source spices from small, regenerative farms, not mass seasoning warehouses. Because the spices are fresher, the flavor hits deeper without artificial boosters. The company maintains transparency about sourcing that budget brands deliberately avoid. Yes, it costs more than store brands, but you're getting genuine organic quality verified by third-party certification. This is what gravy should taste like when made from real food. Number 3. McCormick Gravy Mix. McCormick is one of the rare gravy mixes that actually comes close to tasting like real pan drippings. When you open the packet, you don't get that chemical blast or dusty bouillon smell. Instead, you get a clean roasted aroma because McCormick uses dehydrated stock, real herbs, and natural flavor concentrates. One serving averages 260 to 300 milligrams of sodium, almost half of what bargain gravies pack. The American Heart Association notes that cutting sodium from processed meals significantly improves blood pressure control and reduces water retention. The texture is where McCormick really stands out. Mix it in a pot and it thickens evenly with no gummy blobs or floating oil circles. That consistency comes from quality thickening agents instead of cheap hydrogenated fat powders. McCormick sources ingredients from monitored suppliers instead of bulk commodity warehouses where quality disappears. That's why the flavor feels balanced, savory, and lightly seasoned. It's close enough to homemade that most families genuinely can't tell the difference. If you're choosing a gravy packet without worrying about chemicals or overpowering salt, McCormick remains one of the safest, most reliable picks on the shelf. Number 2. Campbell's Ready-to-Serve Gravy. Campbell's is one of the few mainstream gravies that actually behaves like real pan drippings when heated. Instead of powdered flavor bases and chemical shortcuts, Campbell's uses real stock, rendered fat, and slow-cooked vegetables. That's why it delivers a naturally roasted aroma instead of that sharp, artificial smell. Sodium sits around 230 to 260 milligrams per serving, significantly lower than the 480 to 600 milligram range found in bargain mixes. A 2021 study in Advances in Nutrition showed that gravies made from cooked stock produce fewer inflammatory compounds than dehydrated flavor powders. That's a significant reason Campbell's tastes smoother and cleaner. The texture is consistently velvety with no separation or oily rings floating on top. Consumers often describe it as holiday gravy in a can, which makes sense because Campbell's relies on actual broth reduction rather than artificial thickeners and emulsifiers. Campbell's has been making gravy for decades, and unlike budget brands, they haven't cheapened the formula to chase rock-bottom pricing. They maintain quality standards that show in both taste and nutrition. This is convenient comfort food done right, delivering real flavor without the toxic baggage. Number 1. Trader Joe's Gravy. The top spot goes to Trader Joe's because they deliver the best combination of clean ingredients, authentic taste, and reasonable pricing. Their turkey gravy and savory herb gravy are made with real stock, vegetable purees, butter, and herbs. Not dehydrated fat powders, not artificial meat flavors, real food. Sodium runs about 240 to 270 milligrams per serving, well below most powdered mixes. A 2020 review in the Journal of Food Composition notes that gravies made from genuine vegetable reductions contain fewer oxidized compounds and deliver more natural umami. That's precisely why Trader Joe's gravy tastes richer and more authentic. You don't get clumps, oily separation, or that stale aftertaste typical in cheap gravies. Instead, you get smooth, savory, herb-forward gravy that actually tastes like it came from the roasting pan. Customers consistently say it tastes like Thanksgiving without the stress. The hidden advantage? Trader Joe's maintains tighter supplier audits than big box store brands. That means fewer old spices, fewer processing shortcuts, and fresher stock in every jar. They prioritize quality over racing to the lowest price point. For families wanting clean, safe, real-tasting gravy without premium pricing, Trader Joe's is the go-to choice. There you have it. 10 gravy mix brands filling your pantry with chemicals and dangerous sodium, and 4 that actually deliver real flavor without the toxic baggage. The next time you're shopping for gravy, remember, cheap packets aren't saving money if they're costing you your health. Real ingredients versus chemical shortcuts, that's the difference that matters. If this video just changed your grocery list, hit that like button and subscribe for more truth the food industry doesn't want you to know. Drop a comment telling me which brand you're throwing out today. Now go clean out that pantry. Your family's health just became a whole lot better.